Frank Warren. We're here for the announcement of Box Nation with a link-up involving some of the country's top boxing promoters. Frank, how's it going, sir?
It's okay. I think we've had a good day today. It's a great announcement we made. It was brilliant for the British boxing fans to see that the promoters who are going to be working on Box Nation delivering some of the best fights and letting their guys fight each other. So we got some good momentum going now, and hopefully it'll all work out that we do deliver these big fights.
Box Nation has delivered some massive fights, some massive broad cards as well, American bills. Domestically, it's now going to be good to be seeing some options of domestic fights to be made. Do you think this could lead on to some massive domestic fights?
Yeah, I do. I mean, just as far as fights I'd like to see. Derek Chisora's got a tough fight against Malik Scott on the 20th of July, which is a tough fight. Hopefully he comes through that. And David Price has got his rematch with his fight with Thompson, who knocked him over. He wins that. Derek Chisora against Price is a big fight by any standards, and I'd like to get that on in autumn with Frank Maloney. We can work on that together and hopefully make that work for everybody. Billy Joe Saunders, he's got two tough fights. If he comes through them, and I'm fingers crossed he comes through his two fights, Martin Murray's there. Another great fight. I mean, some great, he's with Ricky Hatton, so there's some fantastic fights to be made between all of us.
Box Nation's a great platform. With there only being kind of Box Nation and the other platform available to watch boxing in this country, how important it is to you that Box Nation moves forward and keeps delivering?
Well, we have kept delivering. I mean, we're coming up to our second anniversary, and it's been a real tough time, as I've said on many occasions, launching any business, especially a boxing business, in the worst recession of all time. It's been very difficult, but we're there, and we're moving forward each time. We've also spoke today about Bill Ives, the chairman of Raynham Steel. He's the biggest private steel company in the UK. Hopefully he's going to become a significant shareholder in Box Nation, and will also will become a board member. That means that that in itself is I think is a great endorsement of a company that's going from strength to strength. What we're doing with Barry, with Frank Maloney, with Ricky Hatton. It's all great for the fans. We've got a great channel. We've got deals with Salem. We've got deals with Golden Boy. We've got Amir Khan on the channel. I don't think it gets any better than that. And it's all in the best interest of British boxing. What we're doing is ensuring that British fighters will have a platform to display their talents, to hopefully build their careers. And I think that's very important. That's what this channel's always been about. It's the only dedicated boxing channel in the world, and it is what it says on the tin. Boxing, boxing, boxing.
All the promoters that that have come forward to join and work with the channel, they've got marquee fighters, i.e. David Price, Martin Murray. These kind of, how can I put it? Is this great for you now to having access to building these and matching these fighters as well for the channel?
Well, it is, but we've always, a couple of guys have been. Frank's been on board for a while now, but to me, this is what it's all been about. This is what the channel is about, delivering the best. We all have to put from my point of view, you have to put my selfishness aside as a promoter, saying that I want all the guys. I'd like to promote everybody, and say, hang on a minute, there are other guys out there. Let's pull them all in, because monopolies are no good. And let me tell you, I suffered from monopoly. That's how I got into business, by busting a monopoly. The cartel situation, I busted that back in the very late 70s, early 80s. So I know how people suffer from those, and this channel, Box Nation, is all about the viewer. It's all about the punter. It's all about the subscriber. And by doing what we're doing, we're showing our commitment to them.
Announced a small fight that's just been signed to Box Nation, Mayweather, Saul Alvarez, Canelo. Could you talk to me a little bit about that?
Well, we did the biggest domestic fight last year in the last 12 months, without a doubt, with Chisora and Hay. That was the biggest one. And this is, without a doubt, is the biggest.
Sold out in 80 seconds, Frank.
Quite sure it did. It probably sold out about 20 times over. It's the biggest fight, bar none, in the last, I would say, probably in about the last 10 years, I think so. It's probably not quite as big as De La Hoya and Mayweather, but it's probably the next one to it. The difference is with that, De La Hoya, had he seen better days and so forth. This is the young kid on the block. This is the one that everybody thinks is going to be the next big thing. He's a fabulous fighter against the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So I think that the Box Nation viewers are going to be in for a treat with this one.
Must be proud of your boy George Warren going out and sorting these fights out. Till recently, I wasn't even aware that he was the man that does that. So again, you must be proud of him.
He's the guy. He goes out, he does the deals, and he's very good what he does. You know, George has been brought up the right way. He doesn't go blowing his own trumpet. He doesn't go saying how great he is and whatever. Gets on with his business. He's very quiet, and does it very efficiently. And Francis, his brother, also does very well in the area that he's working in the boxing game. You know, delivery is what it's all about. You know, people can talk and talk and talk. At the end of the day, it's delivery. You know, with Nathan Cleverly, he's on HBO on the 17th of August. Our fight from the CIA in Cardiff on Box Nation. Home advantage, tough fight. You know, he needs that home advantage, in my opinion. It's a tough fight for him. We don't go and drop our guys and send them overseas. We do our best. It doesn't always happen. We do our best, though, to make the fights happen here. And that's what our commitment is to the sport. That's what we're all about.
Do you think it's very important that instead of having the one outlet, obviously Box Nation's 2nd year anniversary, that the two outlets are kind of equally matched on how many shows they're putting on, how much is going on for British boxing to raise the purses for the boxers as well?
I think we're not the difference with us. We're not at the whim of. It's great. You've got to have competition. There's no doubt about that. That's what anybody thrives on. You know, monopolies are no good to anybody. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, we're not on the whim of a TV executive who may say, right, save some money, cut the boxing budget. We need more money for the football. Do this, do that. We are what we are, boxing. So we have to invest, and we've invested millions and millions and millions of our own money in this. That's what's happened with this, and our commitments and our word and our all the way through this. It's been tough. It's not been easy. I don't make that in any shape or form. You know, there's been times where, you know, it's been difficult for a few people. But the bottom line of all this is that's our commitment. It comes from our pocket, so we've got to make it work. We make it work. We've got a great team on board. We've got great staff. Got great management. Bill Ives is going to be a great addition to the board. He's a very successful entrepreneur and businessman. He's, you know, one of the most successful businessmen in the country, no doubt about that. So his expertise in the area that it helped to develop Box Nation will be fantastic. But we have a great team. We've got good people working for us, and they are committed. They are committed to the thing. It's not about one person. This is a team. And, you know, obviously there's a little bit of leadership there and so forth, but it's a team, and it's been a team effort, and everybody's put their shoulder to the mill, and everybody's pushing hard to make it work. And we are going from strength to strength, and getting additional investment into the company. It's going to improve the product. We're going to go HD.
Just going to touch on this now. I've had people tweeting me, asking me to ask you when will it be going in HD?
It will happen. We want to get it done as soon as possible, but certainly by the end of the year. So we'll be at an HD channel. That means there'll be 2 channels up on the air. You subscribe, you'll get it in HD. You'll have the choice to do what you want to do. So there's lots of things happening. You know, we've worked very hard to get to where we've got to. We've done it in less than 2 years. I keep emphasising in the worst economic climate. In fact, we've only been only had subscription for 18 months. I mean, that is some feat that we've done, and that's why people keep saying, you know, we're dead and we're this and that. I know what we're about. I know where I come from. I know what I'm made of. I've done it, been there, done it many times before. I've seen the ups and downs. I don't need anybody to tell us what we're doing right or doing wrong. I know what we're doing, and I know what we're doing is right. More importantly for British boxing, it's not an ego trip for us. This is about British boxing. That's why these guys are here. They've all been round the blocks in various forms. You know, Frank Maloney as a promoter, me as a promoter, Ricky and Barry have been there as fighters. They know it. You know, we've all done this between us. The experience that we've got, you cannot buy.
Over 100 years promoting.
To buy it, but you can't buy it. We know what we know in our different aspects, and I'm not bad at what I do. So, you know, we're not in the business of blowing our own trumpet. We're in the business of delivering, and that's what we do. We're in the business of Box Nation, and we're in the business of delivering the best to the fans, because at the end of the day, we're passionate about our sport. We love our sport. We work hard at doing what we do. We've got good people in there, and everyone's, you know, you've met them all. They're all committed to this, and as I say, at the end of the day, this is going to be fantastic for everyone.
When are you going to get myself and Coogan onto Box Nation, Frank?
Well, we're talking. You know, listen. We will have a chat and let's see where we go. I mean, I know you do a great job for boxing. You know, I know you get all these distractors of yours coming on saying you're in this camp and that camp, and I understand all that.
I've had a bit of banter today, tell the truth.
Listen, I've been around the block a few times, so I understand and I hear that. And you know, you may say something that somebody doesn't like, so they're going to slag you off, and vice versa. There are times where the how can I put it? The person who puts you in that position, somebody else puts you in that position. You may not do it. I know you don't do it, that's for sure, but it happens. But you know, who cares? All I want is boxing out there. I want as much publicity as we can get for boxing, because that's what we're about. We're about boxing for the benefit of boxing, for the best of boxing, and that's where I've been. I've delivered the big fights, over the years, and hopefully I'll continue to do so. And these guys, you know, a couple of them, they're much younger than me, two of them, they're hopefully doing the things. My two boys as well do a fabulous job, and I'm glad you gave some recognition to George, because you know what? We're not in the trumpet blowing business. He's good at what he does. Francis is good at what they do. They're good kids.
Right, I want to come away from Box Nation now for the second part of this interview. The second part of the interview will be going out tomorrow, but we're going to cut it at this point here. What